Mesozoa, that is, it includes the earliest and most primitive of all metazoan animals. Metazoan animals, the simplest metazoan animals, falls under the category of Mesozoa. So, when we look into their name, Mesozoa in Greek, it can be split into two parts. That is, mesos, which mean middle, and zoon means animal. So these animals phylogenetic relationship, about speaking about phylogenetic relationship, they have phylogenetic relationship, or evolutionarily they are related to other multicellular organism, uh, but their exact relationship or how they are evolutionarily related to other animals, that is still unclear. So as the name Mesozoa implies, these animals are somewhere between unicellular protist and the multicellular triploid flatworm in their level of organization. Though multicellular, they are neither clearly diploblastic or triploblastic. Their cells form two tissue layers corresponding to ectoderm and mesoderm. So, hence, they cannot be said as truly diploblastic. So, there seem to be no endoderm. Moreover, there is no collagenous connective tissue, and mesozoan epithelium lacks a basal lamina. So, all these factors together contribute their uncertainty to be named as a true diploblastic animal. And moreover, there is the example, this simple morphology may reflect extreme degeneration from more complex ancestors as an adaptation to parasites. So almost all the individuals belonging to phylum Orthonectida that comes under Mesozoa, they're all parasites. Almost all of them are parasites, and this accounts for their simplicity in morphology, because as I've said earlier about the platyhelminthes or flatworms, parasites often does not require complex body structures. So as a result, all these complex or highly specialized appendages or accessory organs, they become degenerated, or all of the organs are lost during evolution. Why? Because they do not require such organs for maintaining a parasitic mode of life, because as I've told you, parasites do not require a digestive system. Why? Because they derive nutrition from their host, and they do not require a digestive system to digest their food. In case of parasite, the food they are receiving from their host is already digested, so they do not require a digestive system. And generally, in case of parasite, only their reproductive system is highly efficient, which we'll be seeing in the example of Mesozoa. So let's discuss about the salient features of Mesozoa. Speaking about the body, they are simple, cylindrical, and vermiform, which means worm-like, that is like earthworm-shaped organism. Then their length accounts about 1 millimeter, and their body totally consists of less than 50 cells. Then they show radial symmetry more or less, and they are characterized by absence of tissues and organs. They are just an aggregation of cells. Then their body is spindle shaped and ciliated, because all of the cells possess cilia. The body wall consists of outer monolayered epidermis consisting of multi-layered somatic cells. So the outer layer of the body consists of different multi-ciliated cells, and that outermost layer is known as somatoderm, and this somatoderm covers a core of reproductive cells called axial cells. So their entire body is divided into two regions: an innermost core of reproductive cells called axial cell, which is covered by a layer of epidermis like cells, and the specialty of these cells, outermost cells, they are multiciliated. All of them possess cilia, and the outermost layer is known as somatoderm. Then the somatoderm functions, they have a different function. They function in locomotion and host nutrient uptake. Locomotion, because they have different cilia, and with the help of cilia, the organism will move around. So the function of somatoderm is, one of the functions is locomotion, and the next is nutrient absorption from the host body. Then somatoderm is marked off into segment or ring. The outer coating or the outer covering of the animal is divided into different segments or ring. The anteriormost ring forms an anterior cone, which is followed by a short non-ciliated region and a posteriormost longest region with cilia directed backwards. We'll see it in the example. While we study the example, we can detail all these structural components. Then body is covered by a thin cuticle. Since they are parasites, they require a cuticle because the cuticle protects these parasites from the action of digestive juices or any other antibodies or any other protective fluids produced by the host. So a cuticle is required for a parasite to protect from the host internal fluids. Then, in sexually mature individuals, internally there is a mass of gametes, endoderm, and mesoglia, and this particular organism is absent. And in the case of life cycle is usually complicated with alternation of sexual and asexual generation, which you will be studying in phylum Coelenterata. Ornitharians show this characteristic features of metagenesis. This particular feature is known as metagenesis, that is alteration between sexual and asexual generation. If one at a time, if the asexual generation is persisting, then the next time the sexual generation will live. So this is known as alternation of sexual and asexual. Alternation between sexual and asexual form of the animal is known as metagenesis. Now let's see the phylum that comes under Mesozoa, that is phylum Orthonectida, which is only the single phylum that comes under division Mesozoa or the group Mesozoa. And in this area, we'll be talking about the type organism in Orthonectida, that is Rhopalura. So, type refers to an organism which we'll study in detail. So, that type organism will show all the characters that is assigned to the particular phyla. So such type of organism are known as type organism, which you will be studying in almost all the phyla. You will have type studies, and the most important one is you'll be studying is prawn or Pineus that comes under phylum Arthropoda. Now let's see about phylum Orthonectida, and the type is Rhopalura, which is also a parasite of bivalves, which means mollusk like oysters, etc., and also echinoderms like starfish, etc. Then Rhopalura that comes under Mesozoa and phylum Orthonectida is described as a typical example. Now let's see what Rhopalura would look like. This is a picture of Rhopalura. And Rhopalura is a mesozoan parasite, as I've told you. It is found in variety of marine invertebrates. So it's a parasite of marine invertebrate that include bivalve mollusks like oysters and clams. Then echinoderms and turbellarian flatworms. Then individuals' length accounts from 300 micrometers. Then sexes are separate, hence they are dimorphic. Then females are often larger than males. So this shows this here is a female and this here is the male. Then let's look into the interior of the body. Interior of the body is filled with the mass of egg. So all these are mass of egg. Then female gonopore is situated behind the middle of the body. The male is smaller with fewer body rings. The male can be seen here. Its body rings. Here are the body ring in case of female, but in case of male, the body rings are very small or few. Then male body is divisible into three regions: an interior, a middle, and posterior region. Anterior, middle, and posterior regions. So anterior is here, middle is here, and posterior region is here. Anterior region, there are numerous granules of unknown function which can be seen here. They are granulated, but their function is unknown. And middle region accommodates unpaired testis. You can see a testis here which is unpaired. So that is accommodated in the middlemost region of the male body. Then the third region bears a notochord like skeletal axis. This is the skeletal axis which can be seen here. Then the mature sexual individuals, they are found in the inside the host body, like clams or oysters, what they do is they escape from the host to the surrounding seawater for fertilization. So, fertilization occurs internally after copulation. If a male is escaping from the body of the host, it will meet a female organism in the seawater, because all these are parasites of marine organisms. So, when they meet, they undergo copulation, and fertilization takes place inside the body of the female. So, such fertilization is known as internal fertilization, as you know. Then the fertilized egg develop into a ciliated larva. It is known as an infusiform larva, and that larva consists of few cells which are liberated into seawater. They reinfect to a new host. So that's all about the Rhopalura. You might see that this Rhopalura possesses all the characteristic features or salient features we have discussed about Mesozoa. Here you can see a two region in the body, that is outermost region is the epidermis, and that is known as somatoderm, and you can see each cell is multiciliated. All these protrusions are cilia, and also they have body rings, as you have discussed. And the core of the body is made of what? A group of germ cells. In the case of female, it is they are ovocytes or ova. Then in the case of male, they possess sperm from the testis. So that's all about Mesozoa and phylum Orthonectida, and Rhopalura is the type you have to study that comes under in phylum Orthonectida. So Orthonectida, all of them are parasite, and you have seen about the features of Rhopalura also. Thank you.